We're not solitary animals. Humans need humans. There is a concept in both sociology and retail of a third space or a third place. And it comes from the idea that there are always two places where you end up feeling at home. There's home, which is the implicit first place, and there's school or work, which is your implicit second place. It's where you spend the most of your time. And the idea is that it is healthy for people in communities to have a third place. And that's the place where you come to feel at home socially.
It feels like you're walking into your grandpa's garage.
It's very laid back and welcoming.
What stands out is the honesty or authenticity aspect of it.
I'm Ian. I'm the founder and owner of the Fourth Place and one of two full-time people still. The big idea was giving people a place where they could feel at home and be themselves. I frequented comic book and game stores as a kid, a teenager, and a young adult. I noticed that the best ones were places where I think people thought they were going there to buy the stuff, but then they'd find a place where there were people who liked the same things. And around the same time, I started to frequent like geek conventions. I remember thinking and my friends saying things like, we wish we could just come here on a Thursday. You know what I mean? Without it being 60,000 people crammed into this convention center, I wish we could just go to a place that felt like this every week. And I remember thinking, I know what I want to do when I grow up from being a grown-up. I want to create a space where people can have community.
Hey, welcome to the Fourth Place, a version of it where you'll have to use your imagination a little bit. Here we have our main space.
There are a lot of different sort of communities. A lot of it is local Hanover residents who can't get anywhere else. A lot of kids come over after school.
I would say it's pretty unique. There's a surprising amount of third spaces in the Upper Valley, which I've been pleasantly surprised by because not many communities have that, but nothing with this much to do or this much social interaction.
So my first experience was just interacting with the store component of it. I didn't really go in for any activities. At the time, the owner, Ian, was the only person who used to work there.
Ever since I returned from service, found out this place was open, and I come here every Thursday and sometimes Fridays for the socials and events. When I first stumbled upon the shop, it wasn't just Dartmouth students, it was grad students, doctors, law, professionals, even my professors. I met two professors here in the shop.
I had sort of been up in my shell and was I really should socialize instead of just sitting in my friend's apartment doing nothing. So I came, it was supposed to be craft night, but the person that runs it wasn't here. So I just kind of sat and worked on this jacket and then got more tapped into the events around here and then just started showing up after that.
I first discovered the Fourth Place when the owner, Ian Struggoff, was outside promoting it before it had actually opened. And I was also the first customer, and I'm a regular game master for games there.
There are people from different walks of life that I wouldn't have otherwise encountered, people who are not quite Dartmouth, because you get in that bubble. So I've met people who are more from town. I've met people who work in the hospital or even do random things like being a carpenter.
We all come from the same love for the hobby and community, but completely different backgrounds. It's just a really good shared experience that we got to enjoy here.
I mean, the range of events has really grown. I wanted the community to kind of drive what events we have. So the events include, generalized, very broad appeal, things like board game nights and Magic and Pokemon. But they can include a specific game or crafting or book clubs. We get people who show up and it's their first event. And so I try really hard to make sure that we take a step back and teach it as if you don't already know it. I just have this theory, having been in a lot of sort of geek spaces, that the people who are the most competitive and the most gung-ho and the most deep into the hobby, they've already found people to play with. And so I didn't worry too much about a space for the people who were the best or the most, or the people who might kind of give you a little quiz if you wanted to prove that you are worthy to play with them. So almost all of our events specifically are here for people who are newer, younger, maybe not even sure they want to try the hobby.
But the fourth place has had a pretty big impact on my social life here because it is a concrete thing you can say to friends you're doing. No one has to host, no one has to take care of the logistics if we just want to play a board game together or something. There's a bigger library, so it's easier to find something to do.
Most of the other stuff you can do around here is pretty like solo. This is really the only place you can come to hang out that's not like a bar where you're actually going to talk to other people.
I don't know how it's affected the businesses around it, but it definitely has affected the community.
I come from a background where we're high academics, high sports achievers. People don't really expect us to dwell on things that are a little childish in nature. And when I first came to Dartmouth, it's really easy to just focus on getting good grades, academia. You don't really get a break post fourth place. It really shows that we're allowed to have a small break in between. And for people that have that in the form of sports, in the form of a frat, or the form of just going partying with their friends, this is a form of people that are not as exposed to that type of culture. It's for those more close-knitted, and I feel like it helps a lot.
My hands, and reveal it, and then shuffle. I'm trying to find a way. I have the way. Okay.
One word to describe the place, I would pick the word honest.
You can't really use a singular word that is dictionary proof, because I can say happy, jolly. I would say kind of like wacky.
I'd say it's a community space.
Legally, we're an LLC, right? Like financially, we're a business. In a lot of ways, structurally, we're a store. But that's all here because we wanted to have a community. We really wanted to care about everyone being welcome. But that's on every door of the place. You can't walk in here without seeing those words. And we really thought it was important to be honest and to do no harm.
Listen, it's my last glory before I
You
die.
can reanimate 10 creatures. I think you just win.
The thing that I am most aware of is how grateful I am that this is my job. Like, yes, I started it, but I could not do this myself. It would not work if other people weren't having their memberships and buying that one soda a week or buying a game. But it also wouldn't work if people weren't being kind to each other and being welcoming to each other.
It would be cool to do like maybe more low-key events here, like movie nights and such. I would love to see it make enough money to expand physically.
Literally, anytime I get the chance to buy something here and support, I always give it, even if it means paying a little higher prices than you find on Amazon.
That interests you, I would say check it out and support it because, you know, honestly, Hanover can get pretty boring without stuff like that. Yeah.
Whenever I go there, I regain some faith in humanity that, okay, a lot of different people from different walks of life can be together, have fun and connect, and they can disagree, but they can also get along and they can have strange things in common.
The fact that a place like that makes you feel that way shows the magnitude it has on your life. And sometimes I'm more sad about leaving the shop and the people here than I am on campus. So graduation day, I'm definitely going to be here and saying goodbye.
I don't think a person can make a community. I think my role was to open the door and, you know, kind of roll out the carpet and then to nurture that. And so I am so like deep in my gut aware that I couldn't do this alone. Right? This is not a thing that I do. This is a thing that we do.
Welcome to the fourth place, a version of it where you'll have to use your imagination a little bit. Here we have our main space. As you can tell, are comic books and graphic novels, and a couple of reading spots where you could sit and read a book or play a two-player game or work on your laptop. Walking down here into the tavern room, you'll notice the beautiful wood paneling. Here will be our checkout area, as well as a desk for me to work at. Here we have the bulk of our products, including board games and other tabletop games, as well as collectibles, apparel, and so forth. Currently have these tables configured in a long row of 3 for playing two-player games. And finally, of course, we're left with the view of our mezzanine. I hope you'd enjoy this tour of the imagination